Hello everyone, welcome to the Python programming series. In the day two session, we are going to talk about the Python basics. Number one, variables, data types, typecasting, input and output, comments and doc strings, basic operators, arithmetic like relation operators, logical and assignment operators. So we are going to discuss about these five concepts. Okay, not in detail because I'm going to talk about the basic things. Okay, then we'll jump onto the in the future classes we are going to talk about the each one in detail with the different examples. Okay, so what is the variable and data types? So variables and data types is nothing but first we'll talk about the variables. The variables are containers for storing the data. Okay, so this is the you have the data, you have the data, but you want to store into something else. Example, take a goods file. Okay, we have the so many boxes are there. Okay, so many boxes are there. Each container has some goods. That means some material, some information. So each box is a container. Okay. Box is a container. That means a variable which store the information, which store the data, which store the goods. Okay. So we can say the container is called as a variable, which is having the value. That means information. Okay. So that container, the goods container will have the rice bags. Okay. Rice bags is a value, but the goods container is a variable. Okay, the same like you have some information, guys. Example, you have the data example, age is equal to 20. Okay, age is equal to 20. So you have to use the age variable and value is 25. Value is 25. So but when it's come to this Python, right, so we have some common data types. Okay, that is a integer, float, string, bool, list, tuple, dictionary and set. So very limited variables are there compared to Java or other programming languages. So the variables and data types will work together. But in Python, it's not like that. You don't need to use any kind of variables specifically to mention to your variable name. Example, you have the age is equal to 25. You have the age is equal to 25. Okay. Age is an integer variable. So you need to no need to declare like int age is equal to 25 like in Java. Okay. But here automatically take and understand this variable is an integer. And if you're declaring in double quotation, that is a string variable in Java. Okay. But here in Python, if you declare name is equal to double quote sum is, that is treated as a string variable. So if you use the Python is a float value, and the if you use any true or false, it's treated as a Boolean value. Okay. So if you want to declare, I mean, that kind of values, example, integer will accept only numerics, okay, numbers without decimals. The floating will take the decimal numbers, that is, 3 point. After that, you see the decimal values. So it can be any digits. And the string will be encoded with the double quotes with some value. And a Boolean is a true or false. And list tuple dictionary set is a list of values that will store. We'll talk about this feature. Okay. So the variable is nothing but simple. It is a container to store the data. That's simple. So when somebody asks a question, interviewer asks question, what is a variable? Can you explain it? So variable is a container itself. So variable is a container for storing the data. So if you want to store some age information, age is equal to 20, that is an integer data. So if you want to use a name is equal to Ramesh, so name is a variable and the value is Ramesh, like that. Okay. So we'll talk about this, how to define all these things one by one. So let's go back to my IDE. So here is ID. Let me I'm going to declare, I'm going to create a new file here. That is a new Python file. The Python file is a day2 underscore Python basics. Yep. Okay. So here I'm going to declare the different values, guys. So what is the value I can declare? Example, age is equal to 25. So I want to print it, right? So if you want to print this value to see how the age is, age, just run it. You will see the value here, 25. Yes, 25 printed. So if you want to see that information, okay, which is the age or not, so you can use double quotation just to print something. Okay, age is, comma, just run it. Age is 25. So whatever you have given in the double quotation, that will print as it is, and this is the age is a value. Okay, value is 25. Okay, age is a variable, and 25 is a value. Right. Now let's see other one. Name is equal Ramesh Kudikala. Okay. Guys, do not use any kind of semicolon like in Java or C sharp. Okay, do not use that. Semicolon is not required. Okay, you can just go ahead and use without semicolons. And a print name, you can print it. Okay, you can use this variable to print it. So whatever the value is there, yes, it's printed, right? And if you want to print, this is the integer type of data, right? It is an integer type of data, and this is a string type of data, str, string type of data. Okay. Now, if you want to print the decimal value, example pi is equal 3.14, print of pi. So you want to see that decimal value is printed, right? And if you want to print the true or false, right? Okay, example is underscore active, whether it is active is equal to true. Now I want to print this print of is active, it is true. Now if I use the false here, yes, it is going to print the false. Okay, so this is a boolean value, this is a decimal floating value, and this is the string value, this is the integer value. Okay, so we'll talk about these values, the variables and the values data types in the future classes, but I'm just talking about the basics, how the variables and data types works. Okay, so data types, we have the int, right? So we have the int, we have the int, we have this float, we have the string str only, and you can use the boolean, and we can use the list, tuple, dictionary, and finally set. So these are the different type of data types are available in the Python. Okay, I'm going to talk about each and everything in the future classes, don't worry. Right, now let's stop here. Now let's jump onto the okay, if you want to print, the list of values, let's see the list of values. Okay, marks, I have a marks is equal uh 10, 50, I'm sorry, not 10, 80, 50, and 75, finally 90. These are the list of marks I have. Okay, now I want to print this, see, tell me the type of mark, the type, the type type of marks. When you run this, it is going to, it's a class list. So I'm just asking this keyword that is called type. What type of mark it is. What type of marks is it? It is a list because it is giving the list. Okay. Let's say I want to do one thing. Print. I want to see what type of name it is. What type of name it is. The type of name. Let's say name. I just use a type of name. If I use the type of name, it will give as a string, str. You see that? Yes, class is a str, string. Now, if I use a pi, right? So that is a float. That is a float. Print of type of pi. It is going to be a float. Yes, float. Now, if you want to see the other one, like age, yeah, I'll go with the age, print of type of age. This is an integer, so it will print class int. So if you want to see the type of variable, what type of variable it is, what type of data type it is, okay. So in this case, we can use the print type of marks, print a type of name, pi, age, like this. Okay, you can use it. So it is going to identify that variable and the values. Then you can go on. It will go on to print the type of variable.